Last time I was feeling pretty deflated, but this time I'm in good spirits. I have managed to actually make something, I mean, not something, but you know, a swatch. You wouldn't be excited. Last time, my knitting machine absolutely destroyed me. Like, I got schooled big time. But today, I managed to make a swatch that didn't fall apart. So, what did I do? Hi, and welcome to Not That Deep, where we're not that deep, but we also realize it's not that deep. I played with my knitting machine a couple of days ago and struggled, like really struggled. I really wanted to make a top or something that was productive, failed, couldn't even swatch it. This time, I actually made a swatch and it's still intact. And I'm so pleased with it. I know, it's not much. I get it. I know there are definitely people out there like, what's the big deal? For me, it's progress. And I feel like we should celebrate progress more. So this is me celebrating my baby steps of progress on my vintage knitting machine. My swatch currently looks like this. It is not mistake proof. It's not without its mistakes. There are several mistakes in here. However, unlike my first swatch, which was this one, which is currently still falling apart. Yeah, I mean, I didn't cast it off. It's just a reminder of where I started. The current one has a neat edge, relatively neat edge, and the stitches aren't falling apart. Like, what more do you need? That, for me, is encouragement. So, what did I do differently this time? First of all, I invested in a yarn holder, which was some good advice I got from one of you online. So, thank you so much for that. Is it the best? I mean, I don't know, but I'm really pleased with it. So this is what I got, and I've still got the yarn on there. So I'm gonna unbox it with the yarn. But I used this. So this is the yarn that I used to make my swatch. And it's literally just a basic, I say basic, I'm not a wood turner, so, you know. But it's this, which sits on the stand and spins. I'm so excited to use this for crocheting as well. So yeah, really pleased with this. But this, I think, made all the difference. If you watched my last video, I tried to use the tension stand as a yarn stand simultaneously and problems galore. Did not work out, do not recommend. So I got this one. It's nothing too fancy, but I really like it. It's worked out really well for me. Definitely one of the things that I did that helped the knitting process. So this is the toolkit that came with the knitting machine. It's not in the best shape, but it has quite a few bits in here, quite a few that I still don't know what they are. It's also covered in oil, so. But I used this crochet tool that has a hook on the end. It's currently what is this? It doesn't actually say what size it is, but it is labeled with the brand name, if you can see that. So it's a Brother crochet needle, which I think is quite fancy. So I used this, and then this hook, the latch hook, that's the one I was using, again, Brother latch hook. And then I tried using the transfer tool at some point as well. And I mean, it wasn't terrible, but again, I think it's just something that I need to get used to. So using these with the machine and getting the stitches off of the machine onto the hook and sort of casting off, that helped so much. I was also better off with, so using the comb originally, but I also used the weights. Okay, so this is just one of the weights. So this is just one. or rather this way is how I was using it. Again, labeled. So I used the weights and the comb this time. So it's sort of minor tweaks. It's nothing major, but they made all the difference actually putting all of these together, because now I had more weight on the swatch, which basically allowed for more room for the stitches to actually take shape, which was so much easier. That being said, I did drop quite a few stitches, but I guess I was also using the hook to sort of catch them when they dropped and sort of feeding them back onto the machine as they happened. So I was sort of going a lot slower, and I guess also checking the integrity of the stitches that were on the machine just to make sure that they were good enough and stable enough to hold the next row before I moved the carriage across. So I will say going slower, using the weights, using the tools that came with the machine, and having a yarn holder, it made all the difference this time. And now I've got a swatch that I can be proud of. Definitely some mistakes. Like this thing, I've had to like hook up just so it doesn't unravel. Hopefully that's okay as well. But yeah, so far we're on row 23. I've dropped a stitch and I need to try and save it. So I'm gonna try that right now. I've managed to get them hooked, so now I need to just bring that a loop through this one and then put it back on the needle. But I need both hands, so I just about managed it. So now I can unhook this and leave it there. I can stay up there. Oh, good. I fixed all those drop stitches at the end, so we're on row 30. 30 rows of a relatively okay swatch. I've successfully managed to knit 44 rows. Excuse my kebab stick. It's worked so far and I'm really pleased with it. There are several mistakes, including this one, but it's so much better than last time. And I'm just worried that I'm going to run out of luck. So I'm going to keep my swatch as, I'm not sure what yet, but I'm just really proud of it. So I'm going to do one more row, get to 45 and then start casting off. So we are now on 45.
my swatch.
Definitely feeling more empowered to actually try something else, maybe a little bit more ambitious than a swatch, but stay tuned to see what else I get up to next. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and comment what else I could do to potentially make this process a little bit easier. What do you think of my progress? Am I getting too excited too soon? Let me know in the comments. And please don't forget to subscribe if you want to stay tuned with what else I've got coming up next time. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one.